All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today, we're going back in time, 1836.
Ooh,
We're headed to Texas. It's the Texas Revolution.
big state, big story.
Big story, that's right. A small group of Texan rebels are making a last stand against the Mexican army at a mission
Mm-hmm.
called the Alamo.
Right.
And I know you've heard the phrase,
Oh,
remember the Alamo.
yeah.
So today we're going to try and figure out why. Why this battle? Why has this battle become such a powerful symbol?
Yeah, it's interesting because if you really dig in, the Alamo wasn't a decisive victory. In fact, quite the opposite. So why does this resonate so strongly with us?
Well, I think we need to understand the historical context a little bit here.
Yeah.
So we have the Texan rebels fighting for their independence from Mexico, and they are outnumbered.
Okay, so how outnumbered are we talking here? This is Texas, right? Everything's bigger in Texas.
It's true, but we're talking about 200 Texans
Okay.
against almost 3,000 Mexican troops,
Wow. Okay.
led by General Santa Anna.
So think about that. A force almost 15 times their size.
Goodness.
And these weren't just random farmers.
Right.
These were men who have almost become legend in American history. Davy Crockett,
Yes.
the frontiersman,
Oh, yeah.
William B. Travis, the Alamo's young commander, and James Bowie,
I know that name.
the legendary knife fighter.
That's David Knife.
Yeah, exactly. So these men weren't just fighting for territory, they were fighting for an ideal.
Okay, wow. 15 to 1. That's hard to imagine those odds.
Yeah.
And they were facing these, these larger-than-life figures. Did the Mexican army hesitate at all?
I wouldn't say they hesitated. Santa Anna, while I'm sure he had a healthy respect for the tenacity of these guys, he had the clear military advantage. And the defenders knew this going in. We have letters from Travis during the siege, and they paint a pretty vivid picture of what was going on inside the Alamo. He writes about constant bombardment. He's talking about how Mexican artillery just pounded the mission day and night. We're not just talking about a few musket shots here. These are 12-pounder cannons.
Oh, wow.
Capable of reducing stone walls to rubble.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Just reading about, this relentless bombardment, it makes you wonder what was going through these defenders' minds. Did they have any hope of holding out, or was this just pure desperation?
It's pretty clear from their actions and their writings that they really bought into the cause of Texas independence. They knew surrender was an option. They knew retreat was an option, but they chose to fight, even when facing almost certain death. And it's that sacrifice that turned the Alamo into this symbol of defiance, and that's where Remember the Alamo comes in.
Okay, so more than just a battle cry, it was about turning defeat into, like inspiration?
Yeah, exactly. So think about it. After the Alamo falls, you have Remember the Alamo. It's not just a slogan, it's a rallying cry that's used in speeches and recruitment drives. It's painted on battle flags, and it fueled Texan anger and determination, and it all culminated in the Battle of San Jacinto. Just weeks later, where, inspired by the memory of those who fell at the Alamo, Texan forces decisively defeated Santa Anna and won their independence.
So the Alamo, despite being a loss, really, was a turning point. But why has this event, out of all the battles in the Texas Revolution, why has it become such a potent symbol in American culture?
I think it's because the Alamo represents this almost defiant courage, this willingness to fight for freedom against seemingly impossible odds. And it really taps into that classic American ideal of the underdog, the individual standing up for what they believe in, no matter the cost. And that's a really powerful narrative, and one that's resonated through the years, not just in Texas, but across the nation.
It definitely makes you think about how, even in defeat, the fight for an ideal can really have a lasting impact. Now, here's a question for you to consider. What other historical events, even those that didn't result in immediate victory, what other events have shaped the course of history and inspired future generations? Think about that. And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.